Alrighty, good evening ladies and gentlemen, this is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters cast. We're going to be checking out some really awesome players here today. So up the top left side of the map is Mr. TaeJa. He is 19 years of age, from South Korea, plays for Team Liquid, and he is definitely one of the best. And it looks like he's going for fast Reapers, which should be fun. For his opponent, Mr. Arthur, who is... doesn't list his age here, but he is from South Korea and does not currently play for a team. Played for Team Spectre until a month ago, apparently, so no longer playing for that team. And we have seen Arthur a few times in the Hairy Bash, so really, really awesome to see him in some of the more professional leagues. Yes, for those of you wondering, Hairy Bash is not considered a professional league. Just thought I'd clear that up. So yeah, there we go. Reaper comes out. This is the second Reaper, actually. No, that's the first Reaper. I thought this was a Reaper, but that's just a worker, just getting the scout out. So there we go, and it's not going to last very long. Maybe can run around the mothership core. There we go. Does manage to get out of there, but yeah, that's going to be a bit of pain for the Reaper when it comes in, and the Stalker is just going to make things even worse. So the worker trying to get some better scouting, trying to get around the back, see if he can see a Stargate coming up, or a Robo facility, or a Twilight Archives, or Twilight Council, whatever the hell it's called. The Reaper is not going to be able to scout all that much. Probably could have moved around the back if it wanted to, but for now, runs straight into a Stalker. So Arthur doing a very good job and closing down that Reaper harassment, and has actually given it quite a bit of a chase, finally pulling back. I feel like I've gone Ultra Zoom a little bit too early. There's not that much happening. It's kind of just a lot of stuff on the screen. So, sorry, not too much on the screen. Like, you zoom out and the screen just looks empty. It's like, well, there's nothing happening here. Why are we even Ultra Zooming out? It's pointless. And the screen looks like less is happening than normal. So we'll keep it in here, and there will be a good time to Ultra Zoom at some point, but apparently it is not at the 6-minute mark of the game. So there we go. Reaper's coming in. He's gonna shoot past the side and hopefully get a full scout off. What do we got here? Robotics facility. Not too much else going on here. So he sees the robot facility, goes back here, is gonna scout out all of these areas, trying to kill some workers while he's there. He just managed to kill that guy. Wow, and at the very end, did end up dying. I can't see the Reaper, it's too far on the screen, but I was thinking maybe they just blew the flesh off him because I thought there was a skeleton or something like that, but yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, TaeJa taking out a worker. That's the second worker he's killed. He must have killed a worker when it came over to scout, something like that. And it looks like he's planning on holding on for just 2 bases at the moment. Not going to go for ultra fast third base, or at least not actually on the location here. He's just going to sit back for a little while, push out with this thing. 6 Marines and a Widow Mine. Going to be quite devastating if he just pops down here. Do have an Observer already coming out for Mr. Arthur. So very nice play. That's going to work out very well for him. Although, where's that damn thing going? Just over here, that's fine. If it starts moving... Oh, no, where is it going? Shouldn't I be able to see where this thing is going? Doesn't have an indicator when I select it? I don't know. But he's definitely going to want to move that back. He's got a second one coming out anyway, so that should be... Where the hell is he sending this damn thing? All the way over there. Needs to have one back at his main base pretty quickly. Because, yeah, if it's too far away, then the Widow Mine might actually get 2 shots off before Arthur manages to kill it, and that would be devastatingly bad. So here we go. We've got a worker just out the front, just doing a bit of a run around. We do have 3 bases for Arthur, so he's looking Is this a 3rd observer? I think that's a 3rd observer right there. Here comes the drop coming in. Here comes the Widow Mine. The observer will be coming back ASAP. Does manage to hit workers just at the very edge. Nexus overcharge, and yeah, there we go. The Widow Mine is actually lifted up out of the ground, but it's got nowhere to run. There we go. It's going to fall back and not controlling it at the moment. So maybe could have had a chance to burrow it there, but didn't quite work out. Got the SCV just running around there, not doing much. The medevac managed to make it out of there alive, but just barely, and none of its cargo survived. So there we go. TaeJa getting a 3rd base down. but his macro is looking pretty sweet. He's currently 8 behind Arthur, which is to be expected considering there's a third base down there already. And Arthur continuing to build 3 workers at a time. So he's going really hard, maybe going up to like 60, 65, maybe even 70 workers before he stops, which is going to be very, very scary on 3 bases. TaeJa is actually hasn't had a third base for that long. He's only just building it up now, so he could have had that a little bit earlier, but I don't think it's super, super late. I just think that Arthur definitely got his nice and fast, and he is going to be reaping the rewards right here. Yeah, there we go. 61 going to be popping up to... Oh, he's going to keep going as fast and as hard as he can. Third base moving out, and the macro is really picking up here. Tons of barracks coming out, and looking good. Looking very, very good. Army-wise, TaeJa has built a little bit more, but that doesn't mean much at this point in the game. Arthur can quite easily macro out a ton. Once he starts, I mean, he's building 4 gateways, and that's going to boost his army size up by an absolute ton. We do have Blink, we do have Gateway Tech. Armor is coming up. Quite surprised that with this many Stalkers, he hasn't gone for weapons. Usually weapons is a pretty good way to go if you're going for mass Stalkers. But he is getting Zealot legs, and he is getting some Zealots, so yeah, it could be a pretty good idea. The Observer over here sees the drop, and the Observer over here sees the main army coming down. So TaeJa, realizing this is not going to be a surprise drop. Sorry, there is a difference between surprise drop and supply drop, but he is just going to be moving on in, doing what he can. Doesn't see this Observer here, but he is going to link up with the main army. Obviously not going for any crazy sort of drop action, I don't think. No, looks like he's just... Alright, I think it's time for Ultra Zoom right here. Here we go. Moving on in. Army size 73. Arthur has just hit 72, so very, very nice. No heavy tech units though, and no speed. So he's got Blink Stalkers, and he's got Force Fields, and that is about it. But it seems to be enough to send TaeJa off there. He's not happy, but he's just got 1-1, just about to hit. There he goes, it's just hit. And now he may be thinking about doing something else, but the Force Field's trapping a decent amount of his forces, and the Zealot's getting right in there. And once Zealot speed comes out, TaeJa will not be able to do an attack like that again. Just run up the front door and start smacking stuff, because the Zealots will get in nice and close, and they will do so much damage. And that will last quite a bit with that armor they've got up there. I mean, what is it? 1 armor has already been made, so yeah, that's definitely going to be bad, bad news for Mr. Arthur. Or Mr. TaeJa, sorry. What am I talking about? Yeah. It's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So yeah, another drop coming out. Bunch of Marauders, Widow Mines, and Marines in that one. And looks like the main force coming over here. Must have seen the pylon on the way over. But I don't know if they're going to scout this pylon anytime soon. And do we have a 4th base potentially coming out for Arthur? He's looking pretty good. 97 over 91. He's got 1 Colossus, and that is pretty good. Building another one right now. Getting his Storm Tech up. Starting to look very, very strong in this game. TaeJa is good. He's getting all his stuff up. He's getting that up. The Ghost Warren. The Ghost, whatever the hell it's called. Ghost Academy, sorry. And yeah, Viking. How are we doing with Viking production? He's got 1 starport, and he's just starting to think about building another. So not as good as it could be. And no Vikings actually out on the field at the moment. So he is going to suffer quite a loss here unless he gets very lucky and manages to snipe those Colossus early on. But either he's going to have to run, or he's going to lose quite a lot of forces, because he does not have any Viking support over here at all. And it is just going to be all bad news if he decides to engage. Looks like an attack over here. Bunch of Zealots coming in, mainly just getting shredded by the reinforcements that TaeJa was about to send out. So yeah, all pretty good. Taken care of right there. 1 Marine having a go in here. The force coming back, hoping to lead them into Widow Mines actually, but the Widow Mines are a little bit out of range. Hoping to pull them back. There they go. They've taken the bait. Widow Mine hits all over the place. Doing an excellent, excellent job, and Arthur just ran right into that cavalcade of Widow Mines. He was almost going to miss it, but TaeJa just gave him a tap, and Arthur just leapt for it, and yeah, took quite a few hits. Nothing serious lost, although I did think he had an Archon in there that took some very, very decent damage from the Widow Mines and got killed in like 1 or 2 hits. So that's not good. Here we go, sending out SCV maybe to... Looks like he's building a base here. Needs to get rid of that pylon first, I'm pretty sure. What do we got here? Bedovacs full of units, another group over there. So TaeJa going in for some... Oh, Colossus off by itself. And yeah, does get taken out almost instantly. And going after these bases, but Arthur looking very, very strong on the front lines. 2 armor, 1 weapons versus 2-2 for TaeJa. But does TaeJa have the force at home? Is to take this out? The answer is no. He is pretty screwed here. He's down to a base race, I think, to take this out because, oh no, EMPs are doing a pretty good job, and he does actually have a decent amount of units here, although a lot of those are workers, so turning those around, pretty good job. The Vikings have taken a beating from the Stalkers, and they've had to back off a bit, but the Colossus are still going down. Archon's doing a great job, but slowly getting worn down. The Terran army is getting worn down as well. Not looking very good. Almost everything is down except a few units. The 1 Colossus is left and a few Stalkers. Meanwhile though, TaeJa is right in the base with nothing really stopping him. He's taken out a ton of pylons powering gateways and really shutting down that production quite quickly. The more reinforcements have managed to come out though, and he's sent him out to the front line, so Arthur is committing himself to a base race. He's not going to try and hold his own base at this point. And we will see how it's working out. I don't think it's going to happen because TaeJa is still producing so many units right here. He's still got most of his production running, even if his income has been chopped down by quite a bit. They're still going strong though. Mule's doing a pretty good job, must be. And yeah, he's still just popping out a ton of macro units, whereas Mr. Arthur at the moment, he's got a bunch of gateways, but almost none of them are powered. In fact, there's only those 2 over there. He's building a ton more over here, but it's going to be interesting. His worker count is dropping a little bit. Not dropping as much though, and these guys have held on. So yeah, Arthur just did not have enough. He was not going to have anything else to save these gateways. The Zealots could just run down, or the Marauders could just run down and take that stuff out. And TaeJa was looking quite strong. He held off defensively, and yeah, and he was still doing damage in Arthur's base. So Arthur just said, you know what, GG, good game, let's get it over with. And great job, very, very great job. Despite TaeJa I don't know, he just sort of sidestepped that massive army and let the army attack him in his base, but he had so many reinforcements that he was planning on sending out that they still managed to hold off for the most part. They held off 90% of the forces, and then the other 10% of Arthur's forces were taken out by more reinforcements as they were being built. So held on, and I really, really liked the way that TaeJa went in and just blitzed all the pylons. He knew that it could be a base race situation, that Arthur still had some teeth left, still had some macro left, so he shut down the gateways, and after that, Arthur just couldn't get his forces up. He might have been able to wreck half of TaeJa's base if he had had those gateways still alive. He would have kept warping in units over here, sending them in, and TaeJa would have been worn down. His reinforcements may not have been enough, and he may have started losing key buildings. And then it would really have been down to a base race, as opposed to TaeJa managing to shut down the gateways, shutting down the flow of reinforcements, and then managing to hold out against the main army simply because they had no reinforcements left. So great job there by TaeJa, and taking out the win. So thank you very much for watching this game. I will catch you guys tomorrow with another one. Stay tuned. This has been Hairy Muppet.